Soccer?
The creators called it football.
Soccer?
You know, you play it with your feet,
Reading between the headlines. Soccer?
but it's really called football.
Soccer?
Hey, welcome back to Reading Between the Headlines. I'm Asaf Nisim, your host for the latest episode of Peruse the News, the live show where we catch up on the latest Chelsea news together, maybe even some world football more broadly, but Chelsea primarily. And of course, we live football and prosper as one should. Now, before we get into it, I got to do what I don't do enough. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell to know when we go live. Yes, it rhymes, and that is all the more reason to heed the call, to jump on the bandwagon, because this channel, while small at the moment, is always growing, and we need you. I need you. We want you here. So come back, subscribe, hit the bell, engage with me. That's what I want to see, and that's what you want to do. I'm just letting you know. Little tip. But anyway, moving forward on the docket for today. You know what? Before we do that, let's just make sure my mic is on. Yeah, got to do that because I've done this whole show before and had my mic completely muted. That was fun and a waste of my time and yours, of course. But back to what I was saying on the docket for today, right? The transfer window has closed. We are going to look at maybe some deadline deals that were missed and or secured. Maybe you know some of them, maybe you don't, but we'll be doing that. And in light of those deals, potentially, we might look at a highlight reel or two, or maybe not. Maybe we decide, you know, screw it, not that interesting. But that is a possibility. After that, let's look at Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. You know, it's coming up on Sunday. Want to take a look at the possible lineup there. It wasn't great against Servette, but hopefully we won't be seeing those same exact players in those same exact positions coming up in this league game. And I don't think we will, but we'll talk about that. And in that spirit, we will be taking a look, listen, react to Enzo Maresca's pre-match presser. If you haven't seen it already, I watched a little bit of it, but I wanted to save it so I could react to it live here. And then maybe we will peruse the latest Chelsea and, as I said before, maybe some other headlines. Okay? Let us get into it. So we'll do that. First, we'll head on over to the Sky Sports live ticker. So what do we got? You know, why don't we even refresh here, see if there's anything new. Okay. So the most recent thing that they put out was 2 hours ago, and that was Chelsea submit Sancho deal sheet. So if you've been following the news, you know that things aren't going well, maybe in some other places, and somehow it seems that Chelsea are just hitting the panic button and just like the buy button at the same time. You know that meme with the two buttons? So maybe Chelsea's got panic and buy. Panic, buy, panic, buy, panic, buy. And they're just going for it. So, well, at least that's the way it seems, and those are where the major reports are coming from. Chelsea have submitted deal sheet in their bid to sign Jadon Sancho. Now, it says meaning that they have until 1 a.m. to complete a deal for the Manchester United forward. Now, it's about 1 a.m. London time right now, if I'm not mistaken. London time now. Yeah, 1:20 a.m. So, it seems that I hope they got that deal sheet in. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter if you're for Jadon Sancho's acquisition, then you'll be hoping that they got that deal sheet in. And if you're not for Jadon Sancho's acquisition and maybe just want to stick it to Man United, just, you know what, that's kind of a tactic as well, isn't it? For Chelsea, it's like, yeah, you could panic and buy Jadon Sancho, or you could just pretend that you're going to panic and buy Jadon Sancho for Manchester United because, you know, we haven't, it doesn't look like we got our strikers, either one, any of the strikers that we were looking at and was reported that we were looking at. So you could just pretend that you're going after Jadon Sancho, and then in the end just bail, 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 and stick Man United with those wages. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? That would be some Chelsea 4D chess if I've ever seen it. Okay, but so that's the most recent news, and I'm not sure. If you look at FOTMob, here, see, it still hasn't reported players in that Jadon Sancho is a player in, as you can see. Yeah, he's not here. So at least FOTMob hasn't gotten it. And let's see if I just Google real quick, Jadon Sancho to Chelsea. I don't know. We might not get that news. Yeah, because all the news right now are just saying basically that he's expected to close the deal, but hasn't quite closed the deal yet, it seems. In light of that, let's go ahead and put a poll in. Okay, oops, not Q&A. We're going to do a poll. So the question is, we're going to write it right here. Okay, Jadon Sancho, good business, sadness consumes me, or WTF is even going on? Yeah, because that's kind of what it seems, doesn't it? Now I had these written already. And WTF is even going on. There were some other options, but I went with these. Okay, so that makes sense. Jadon Sancho. Oh, to Chelsea. Good business, sadness consumes me. WTF is even going on. Let the poll begin. Okay. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but this transfer window really has been all over the place. And it's weird. Obviously, we've gone from wanting to buy everything in sight, spending exorbitant amounts of money on players that probably don't deserve to be to have those price tags, to, gee, we're buying all young players to lower the wages and giving crazy amortized contracts. Well, we were doing that before, but I don't know. It just seems to be all over the place. And the fact that we would even be thinking about Jadon Sancho, like, do we need another winger? I mean, unless you're going to have Mudryk go the other way, which, hey, don't get me wrong. I'm one of the people that's just like, listen, I appreciate Mudryk, but on some level, some far, far and away level, but I just don't want to deal with the project right now at Chelsea. We have enough projects. We're full of projects. We're completely laden, riddled with projects, okay? We don't need more projects. So maybe loan out Mudryk and to get Jadon Sancho. I don't know. It just seems like a panic. It seems like a panic buy to me, and probably seems that way to most Chelsea fans. But at the end of the day, we have seen Jadon Sancho's best days on some level. So yeah. So did I even spell that right? I think I spelled it right. Let's see. You just double check I spelled it right. Yeah, I did. Okay. Spelled his name. You never know. You never know. So, you know, I was thinking maybe why don't we... Oh, look who is in the building. Daniel Mitzner. Senor Schnitzy. Who knew that we would get such... We'd be graced with such a beautiful, surprising presence. I'm extremely happy to see you, buddy. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. You've been here before, but it's been a minute, so good to see you. I was thinking, let's check out the Jadon Sancho. There was a reel I had seen. What was his name? Nino24. Yeah, Nino 12 times. Throw that on there. Let's check out this highlight reel. It's only 9 minutes. Why not? Why not? Let's see what Jadon Sancho has to offer us. I mean, especially at Dortmund, you have to say he was pretty. He's had moments. I mean, when they were looking to pick him up at United, I was actually concerned. I was thinking, oh, geez, Sancho's coming. This kid is pretty lit. It looks like we did get him. All reports say that we did get him, but we're not going to know until that deal sheet goes in, and it should have been in 25 minutes ago. So, look at this kid.
It's an excellent ball. Sancho. Ronaldo,
Look
Webster.
at this
In
kid.
the end, he did run pretty far with the ball, but does slow it down.
Sancho, good one. Jadon Sancho.
Looking around.
Ronaldo.
Ooh. I mean, he is so technical on the ball.
Not this time. No, that's what
Good in
came
tight
off the bench.
spaces. He's doing here what Mudryk cannot do, apparently,
Sancho.
for some reason.
Sterling of Sancho natuurlijk. Sancho, Haaland.
So definitely if we're choosing between Sancho and Mudryk on that left, let's be real. It ain't Mudryk. It ain't Mudryk at all.
Sancho.
There are some questions about his toxicity, I will say. You know, for me, it seems like there's a chance that he's really toxic in the locker room, which is a worry. That sort of thing can poison any locker room, and then it's just like you're clawing back. Look at him. I don't think he's a lefty. I do not think he's a lefty, which on the left maybe. It's like trading a one righty on the left in Mudryk for another righty on the left. If that's where he would play, I mean. But that's where we're weakest. I mean, we have Noni on the right. Yeah, let's look him up.
Sancho still here, twisting.
Yeah, he's right. He's right-footed. Mob says he's primarily a right winger. I don't know where they're getting that from. Is that like more where he's played? What do you think, Daniel Mitzner? Are you excited by the prospect of Jadon Sancho, or are you just like, do we really need a winger? Like, we obviously need a striker. He's had some like such great spells in the past that I there is part of me that gets a little excited about it. But it's like, if he's that great, why isn't United keeping him? And again, back to that, is he possibly toxic? There's been some evidence at United that he's toxic. Okay, so Mitzner is not excited at all. Yeah, we need a striker, but it's over. I mean, it looks like literally both Ivan Toney and Victor Osimhen, who were the standout players being reported that we would possibly scoop, are both off to Saudi Arabia. I don't know if that's true, if that's all been confirmed, but last I looked, that's what was happening. And it really does seem like Maresca is completely and entirely committed to Mudryk, which is weird, but he keeps starting him. And I mean, I think there's other options. You know, if he didn't like him, then he might not be starting him, but he is. So, look at that. That was slick. When this kid's on, he's on. Yeah, he says truths about Mudryk, possibly, like, is it really though? He you know, he did say, like, yeah, he euphemistically said that Mudryk wasn't exactly playing great, and he knew, and he'll know if he's being pulled off that he just wasn't doing well. And he says things like, well, he's got everything required to be a fantastic player, but he just doesn't make the right decisions, right? He's a light switch. I didn't see that, but maybe he said that. But if that's the case, he's been off for quite some time, since we got him in January of last season, apparently. Yeah, but I don't think we've ever gotten him turned on. Not once. I mean, he's had a game or two where he had some moments, but even in those games, it's not like he was switched on all game, you know? Jadon Sancho's a different beast altogether. Like, if you're comparing the two, it's Sancho all day for me. Look at this kid.
Jadon Sancho.
Modric is kinetic. I mean, yeah, he's certainly pacey. That's kinetics for you. Super fast. Yeah. Yeah. Modric is supposed to be technical too, but he just loses the ball. Like, I don't know, in tight space. Whenever people get on him, he just loses the ball. It's just like he can't protect the ball whatsoever. He's not one of those players where the ball is so sticky to him and he just uses his body well that he just doesn't lose it. He just loses it. Sancho is more one of those players that doesn't lose the ball. I'm not saying he doesn't lose the ball, but, you know, he's less likely to lose the ball.
Without the end result. Fernandez, he'll let rip.
There it is. So currently 5 votes and 40% say Jadon Sancho is good business. Nobody says sadness consumes me, so people are still optimistic. But 60% of people say WTF is even going on. So that's for whatever that's worth. maybe that'll change by the end of this highlight reel. It's almost over. But I was hoping that this highlight reel would maybe get people a little more excited. Okay, people even talk about Modric like, hey, well, he does so well he does so much better on the Ukrainian national team, and that's true. But how well has that really been? Is that enough to give him a starting spot at Chelsea FC? I don't think so. I think we better start seeing Neto pull ahead and start more of these games. At least the non-cup games. But even for the cup, that was so embarrassing against Servette. Like, so embarrassing. I don't want to see that anymore. I think, like, if we're going to want to win that competition, I think Maresca is going to have to stop making 7 to 9 changes. In my head, I voted, WTF is even going on? Like Ed Helm screamed in The Hangover. Is that what he screamed? I don't remember that. Let's pull that up. Ed Helms. What the fuck is going on? Hangover. Is that even going to happen? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to... Okay. Well, we'll skip that. Well, that was interesting. So, yeah. I'll say it got me slightly more excited, but I'm still possibly in the WTF is even going on yet. I'm almost at sadness consumes me, but I'm too optimistic for that. So why don't we go back to the ticker at Sky Sports? No, that's Maresca. Sky Sports. Because we're going to watch that Maresca pre-match together. But okay, so 2 hours ago, Chelsea set to give up on Osimhen deal. Chelsea are resigned to not signing Victor Osimhen this summer. The Blues made a final offer for the Napoli striker this evening, but are still awaiting a response. With 20 minutes to go until the window closes, Osimhen is now not expected to move to Stamford Bridge. Now, I mean, still no update on whether that deal sheet went in for Sancho, and I Googled it, and nobody said anything, so who knows? I mean, I guess they could be wrong about Osimhen. Arsenal very close to Sterling deal, but will they need a deal sheet? Sky Sports. This is 2 hours ago at 5:37. Sky Sports News Kaveh Solikal and Dharmesh Seth give greater insight into Arsenal. Okay, they don't have this. My location is unsupported. How dare you, Sky Sports? My location should be supported. Okay? My location is of the utmost supportivenessization. But I didn't see anything about Sterling actually closing the deal. There's a couple of pieces here 2 to 3 hours ago saying that Sterling to Arsenal is very close. I guess that would be a good piece of business for us, but I'm rubbed the wrong way just selling Sterling. I still feel like, especially if we wouldn't have gotten Sancho, like we should have loaned out Mudryk, and I'll just harp on this for a second, but we should have loaned out Mudryk and possibly kept Sterling because he's better. He's just better, period. We're going to get more output from Sterling than we are from Mudryk this season. But I don't know. With Felix coming into the mix, things will be shaken up. Although I guess Felix isn't registered for the Conference League, so that is, I mean, that Conference League tie was just, and I said this last stream, was just all the more evidence that we literally don't have enough depth at Chelsea. I mean, we couldn't play a B team and beat. I mean, granted, it was 7 changes last time, I believe, and 9 changes the first leg, which we actually won at home, but it wasn't very convincing performance. But like, if we can't play a B team and beat a mid-table Swiss side that had just lost 6-0 to Basel in the Swiss league, if we can't beat them like convincingly, then we don't have the depth to feel comfortable going forward in this league. Let's be real. It's a scary prospect. It's a long season. Anything can happen, and it's scary. So, what the hell? Where's my buddy? Where's my other buddies? Okay. Anyway, screw them. They don't come. So there's some BS about why Chelsea moving to a lot of stuff about Chelsea moving for Sancho. So it really does look like imminent, even though we don't have confirmation. We'll definitely by tomorrow, I imagine we'll know once the business day opens tomorrow. Looks like Tammy Abraham, good old Tammy, is going to Milan from Roma. Okay. At this point, to be fair, the way things are here now, I thought we had a buyback on Tammy, and I'd probably take Tammy right now. Let's be real. Who wouldn't take Tammy right now over Jackson? I don't know. I kind of would take Tammy. Don't forget, Tammy scored like freaking 30 league goals in the championship. He scored a bunch of goals for Aston Villa. Did he? Yeah, that was in the championship, wasn't it? But, the kid can score more convincingly than Nicholas Jackson, maybe. But that's not happening. Okay, Tony to Chelsea. Yeah, total non-runner. Ivan Tony to Chelsea is a total non-runner, whatever that means. That's some English speak. You're Tammy Mitzner? You're in the Tammy camp? Tammy over Jackson? Curious. I think you have to say Tammy over Jackson at this point. As far as like immediate like effect on the team, I feel like Tammy would score more. He'd be better in tight spaces, and he's a little taller. Anybody over Jackson? Gabe does not like Jackson apparently. It's not been good. But Ivan Toney apparently, Tammy all day. Ivan Toney is a total non-runner. I've been told. Chelsea are definitively out of the race to sign Brentford striker, and they fully expect him to join Al Ali in Saudi Arabia. Okay, this is the other one, which is sad, but sad for me because I'm a big Chalobah fan, and if Daniel Stock was in here, we might he might be rubbing it in my face, but it looks like Crystal Palace have agreed a season-long loan. I looked in FotMob and I did not see that on the players out, actually. I'll check that real quick. Players out. No, not listed here. Yeah, Tammy is a seasoned Premier League striker. Whatever you want to say about him, was he good enough? Wasn't he good enough? Whatever. He was seasoned and he scored a hell of a lot of goals in the Championship. I know it's not the Premier League, but it's a lot more than Nicholas Jackson ever scored in his life. Let's be real. Anywhere. And where did he come from? I think the French. Did he come from the? No. Where did Nicholas Jackson come from? Don't remember. Let's check it out real quick. He came. Where's his career here? Okay, yeah. He came from Villarreal. Okay, so he scored 13 goals at Villarreal in 48 appearances. Not terrible, but not as convincing as Tammy might be. Right. So, okay. But so anyway, there's that. This doesn't seem to be necessarily confirmed, although Sky Sports is saying that it was 5 hours ago. Palace agreed loan deal for Chelsea's Chalobah. Crystal Palace have agreed a season-long loan move with Chelsea for Trevo Chalobah. The deal for the 25-year-old defender does not include an option or an obligation to buy. Chalobah has been training. Yeah, we know that. Sad. I think Chalobah's better than probably both of our cup starters. And yeah, I'm sticking to that. But it looks like he'll probably be defending next to Mark Gahey at Crystal Palace, and good for them. They got a great deal there, it seems. He came from Stupid Boys FC. Nah, I mean, Stupid Boys. Okay, so that's that. Obviously, 5 hours ago they had said that we still, I wouldn't be completely shocked if tomorrow we wake up and an Osimhen deal has been put over the line, but it doesn't look like it, obviously. And the amount of money that Saudi Arabia was apparently offering Osimhen, like to the tune of £500,000 a week, like that's just insane. We cannot. It says, I think Osimhen has recognized that I've been told Osimhen has been asking for something around £300,000 per week to move to Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea are going to stretch to that. Yeah, and he'll probably get a lot more even from Saudi Arabia. Like I saw reports of 500,000, which is insane. But okay, so there was nothing beyond this in terms of Broja, but I mean, he was another player. That's another question. I mean, I don't think people would choose Broja over Nicholas Jackson, though. Although that you never know. I mean, he did have like one or two great games for us, but probably Broja over Mark Guiu, some people might think. I don't know. There is some weird crap going on. It's like, how are these decisions getting made? How is I understand that a big narrative has been that we got to lessen the wage burden, right? And so Chelsea, the administration is going for younger players with lower wages and not spending a lot on transfer deals, especially since they nixed the amortization. They can't, basically, the PSR has limited amortization to, I believe, 5 years on contract. So we can't be doing crazy things like giving Mudryk, spending like whatever it was, 80 million or whatever it was on Mudryk, and then amortizing it over 8.5 years and saving ourselves from PSR penalties. It's now, doesn't matter how long the contract is, you can only amortize for 5 years. Yeah, I do think Broja, I still don't know how you pronounce his name, honestly. Broja, I'm just gonna say Broja. He might have done more for us. He was big, he was strong, he had pace too. He wasn't pushed off the ball very easily. So I mean, in terms of hold up play, I could see and even running into space, you could say. But yeah, he might not have gotten a fair shake. I might agree with Daniel on that one. What? Oh, what is this? Ipswich are in advanced talks with Chelsea for Armando Broja. The deal is expected to be a loan, which will become an obligation to buy if certain thresholds are met. Talks are centered around renegotiating the obligation price, which was £30 million when the deal was previously agreed earlier this month. The deal broke down last week over an issue with Broja's medical. So what are they saying? Is this happening or not? Or was that the Fulham? Because I thought I had seen talks about him going to Fulham. Now, or no, or maybe he was at Fulham. What has Jackson shown really that Broja hasn't? Yeah, not much. End of the day. I think it's probably what Gabe is saying. Like Maresca has this, like he has a very specific idea in mind, and I don't think it's a hold up striker. Not that I would say that Broja is like out and out like a hold up play striker, but he does seem more in that vein than a guy like Jackson. Although, yeah, because Jackson just loses the ball. He just gets muscled out the second the ball touches his feet. I mean, unless he's in midfield. For some reason in the midfield and space, he's been pretty good touching, first touch and turning, basically. And then, but what is he, Harry Kane now? Like, no, he's not. That's not what we're buying him to do. We're buying him to score goals and do well in tight spaces, which has not shown lately. Gabe says Jackson has shown that he can't effing score. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I thought by the end of last season that things were going to change. He was talking crap to John Obi Mikel, which is another negative against him, dude. Don't be talking shit to John Obi Mikel, who's like the freaking nicest guy. Like, he's one of the nicest Chelsea alumni. Seriously, bro, don't talk shit to legends, okay? Especially when what the legend is saying actually has some credence. Like, bro, you need to step up. You're not doing it. Get angry and go out there on the football pitch and get angry and do your job. That's what I say. Don't talk shit to John Obi Mikel. Okay, that was another thing that we kind of already knew. Petrovic joins Strasbourg on loan. Another kind of, I want to say, sour point of business for me and maybe for other Chelsea fans, because like looking at first Jorgensen was looking good, but looking at recent performance against Servette, not that says everything. It's early, it's 2 cup games, but like, and he had a couple of turds in front of him in basically Badiashile and Tosin. I can't even say his first name or last name. Tosin Adabrabrabayoyo. Abirabri-yo-yo. Maybe eventually I'll say it, but he looked pretty shit, Jorgensen, against Servette. I don't even want to say that anymore. It's like I act like Servette's an actual name that we talk about. No, nobody knows who the hell they are. But Petrovic was better than both Sanchez and Jorgensen, flat out. But he didn't fit the mold for Maresca. Fine. Whatever. I guess he's out on loan. Maybe if this doesn't work out with Maresca, then we'll have options to bring back Chalobah, to bring back Petrovic. I mean, I don't think people are clamoring for that. Yeah, and so that's the end of this feed. Chelsea have got to sell Sterling today from Paul Merson. Gabe C, hating aside, can we please just get someone other than Jackson up top? I'm going to lose it if he plays like shit against CP. Yeah, seriously. And I'm scared, honestly. But we'll talk about that in a second. You know what? Why don't we move ahead and go on to, because I think that's about it. Obviously, Man United did not get, Chukwuemeka. Yeah, it doesn't look like that happened. But these are all old at this point. The newest, let's refresh here real quick. See if they gave us anything on that deal sheet going to Man United. So apparently they have submitted. Okay, so they have submitted the deal sheet. Chelsea have submitted deal sheet in their bid to sign Jadon Sancho, meaning, no, they have until 1 a.m. to complete a deal. Okay, so there's nothing new on that. Okay, let's move on. I think that basically, that's most of what we were looking at in terms of last minute deals, none of them happened. So let's take a look at this Crystal Palace Chelsea match. Okay, first things first, we do have this about 6-minute pre-match presser with Maresca. I mean, like I said, I watched a little bit of it, but I wanted to save it for this show. So let's do that so we can react to it together, see if he gives us any little gems. I'm not convinced there will be anything crazy and great, but let's see.
So how are you? All good?
Good, yes, good.
Good,
Thank
good.
You.
Good.
Firstly, team news. What's the latest team news? How are the injured players doing?
We don't have any update at the moment in terms of the situation.
Just a reminder, before we continue with this, if you're in here and you're new to the channel, please, why don't you like, subscribe, hit the bell to know when we go live. Yeah, it rhymes. I know. Please, just hit the bell because we've been going live a lot in this channel. And I understand, I rarely hit the bell, but when you're subscribed to a channel that goes live, you kind of want to hit it because otherwise, when are you going to know? How are you going to know? Yes, I mostly go live at 8 p.m. some weekdays, but it's happening kind of randomly right now. I want to lock it down. The channel is growing, and I want to see where the perfect day lies, and I'm not sure about that yet. So hit the bell, subscribe most importantly, and like the channel, the video, the stream if you haven't yet. I would really, really appreciate it. As I said, let's get back to it. Let's get back to it though. Just wanted to throw that in there because I'm terrible about selling the channel, but I'm trying to be better about it. So here we go.
The situation is still the same. That means Reece is still injury and Romeo.
Not great.
It's been almost 3 months for you here now at Chelsea.
And just another note, so Romeo is still injured, and that's actually a huge loss I find because if I think most Chelsea fans thus far can agree that Romeo is kind of one of the great bright spots so far. There have not been a lot of bright spots yet. We did have the Wolves. When we bought him and he was injured, I was like, what the hell are we doing seeing him? Dude, he is a player. I am very excited to see him back. Okay, let's move on.
Has it gone to plan, would you say?
No, very, very happy. Yeah, less, I think at the moment is less than...
Anybody else excited about Lavia?
Very happy. We are, in my expectation, we are ahead. So I'm very happy about this, and the good thing is, yeah, as we said, we just start, so we have many things that we need to improve, but we are in the right direction.
How pleased were you with what you saw away at Wolves, the performance from your players?
Okay, they're going back to
I was
Wolves
very happy
because you can't be asking him if he was pleased about Servette's second leg, obviously.
City, but I think the performance against City was good. Everyone now talk about Wolves because we won. But as I said, we are in the right direction. That for me in this moment is the most important thing.
Would you say the Chelsea fans got a clear indication of how you want to play this season, the style of football?
The style is clear. This is the way we like to play. Logically, sometimes there is also another team that they are there trying to do the best for them. So sometimes it's not easy.
Yeah, he's talking about Servette.
Overall, I think since day one.
What I said after that match was what I thought kind of summed up our performance in that match is that we looked like we were trying to play a C or a D team. We were trying to put a C or D team of personnel and try and play like the A team. Not that and the A team hasn't even gotten it yet. The A team hasn't pulled it all together yet, and yet it looked like we were trying to play, the worst players in the squad, play that dominant. I mean, I don't know if you've seen he did a video talking about his tactics, Maresca, on NBC, and or at least it was NBC over on this part of the pond, but it was like, we're playing like 5 up front when we have the ball. We have like 5 players at the forward line. I mean, he's really trying to play dominant and press up on the opponent's final third, but we just didn't have the personnel to do that against Servette, and it was ugly in response because they played perfect tactically in response.
Clear, and hopefully, as I said, day by day we can improve and we can win more games.
A hat-trick of assists for Cole Palmer. There were a lot of people saying it was going to be hard for him to replicate his numbers from last season, but how impressed are you with what you've seen so far?
Very impressed with Cole, even if I know him very well from already many years. As you said, it's never easy to repeat again.
Just acting like
the
Servette
same
never
numbers than
happened.
last year in terms of goal and assist.
We didn't
But I
win,
think
Gabe.
The most important thing for Cole
We
is to enjoy
qualified.
football,
We didn't
to
win. There's a
relax,
difference.
Don't feel pressure in his shoulder. He has to enjoy every day training a game, and then
Qualified.
goals. And
We lost the game.
Assists, they're gonna come for sure.
Thiago Silva, Conor Gallagher, both left. They were big leaders in the dressing room. Who do you turn to? Who do you look to as your leadership group in that dressing
This
room?
is more like the sadness
In this moment,
consumes
we
me.
have different players that they are
Right here,
behave
thinking about
like
Conor
captain. What I
Gallagher
said since
and
day one,
Silva.
I like all of them take responsibility and feel like a captain.
Sad,
At the end,
sad
I know
days.
that only one is going to be the captain inside the pitch. But the important thing is that all of them, they feel
What are all these softball
part
questions,
of that,
though?
and they feel responsibility. And
Ask
in this
about
moment
frickin'
we have
Enzo
Peruse, we have Enzo, we
Fernandez,
have,
why he played like such crap.
uh,
Dewsbury Hall, why would
I
you
said
sell
Van Dijk
Gallagher
could
for
be one of
Dewsbury
the
Hall?
captain. We have 4 or 5 players that they
What's
can
going on there?
Looking at your squad now, how pleased are you with what you've got, and what would you like?
Am I right?
I really like the squad. I said that since day one, since my first day here. I said that. I feel very lucky because we have many players that they can play in different positions. They are versatile. That is something that I love, and I feel lucky. I feel happy because they are first of all good boy,
Speed it
good
up.
person, good human being, and then they are very good players. So this is important.
You've made it clear which players you want
I
to
know.
work with. Obviously, there are some training away from the group. If they aren't
Connie G,
to get that move
man,
away, what will happen
Our
then? Will
boy.
you bring them back in? Do you have a plan for that?
gone.
Oh, at the moment we have still 4 or 5 days, 3 or 4 days. I don't know how many days for the window transfer. We'll see what's happened. So in this moment, I think we cannot give any information or any update because we don't know how we finish when close. But we're gonna see.
For
Will there
Dewsbury
be a
Hall.
sense of relief for you
Man,
when the
Dewsbury
window
Hall
does
is
close?
so
You
bad
finally
against
know the group
Servette.
of players you'll be working
So
with?
bad.
Yeah, I think it's something for all the manager, to be honest, because the squad is close and you can work just with that squad, that numbers, so you feel a bit better. But I said already 2 or 3 times since we start, I'm working with around 25 players.
I know.
So you can manage quite well.
It felt like a
Next Premier
blink
League
twice
game,
video,
Stamford Bridge,
honestly, like he
Crystal
was
Palace.
doing it
How
for
important is
the
it to carry
club.
that good momentum from
So
from
it
the
kind of
game
hurt
against Wolves?
because it
Yeah,
felt like he
yeah.
was just doing it for the club
We
to
are, the
make
Conference League
things,
against
to
Servette
smooth
also
things
we won,
over with
then was Wolves
the
away.
fans.
Hopefully we can continue with the Palace.
But it just
and yeah, we'll
so
see.
sad,
We're gonna
man.
try our best.
The
to
pictures of
win
him
that game
when
too.
he was a kid.
Palace have lost both their
in the
games so far,
academy.
but they seem to be a serious team under Oliver Glasner. What kind of game are you expecting?
Absolutely, I watched both games. Probably they didn't deserve to lose, to be honest. But this is football, and they are a very good team. Since last year, they finished fantastic, and for sure this year.
Wait, who's he
they're gonna
talking
be
about?
Again, their teams. I watched both games. We're gonna try our best to win that game too.
Palace have lost both their games so far, but they
Palace,
seem to be
yeah.
a serious team under Oliver Glasner. What
Yeah,
kind
let's
of
be
game are you expecting?
let's not
Absolutely, I watched
overlook
both games.
Palace.
Probably they didn't deserve
And
to
they
lose,
also
to be honest.
crushed
But,
Norwich
this is
4-0
football,
in the
and
EFL
they are a
Cup.
very good team. Since last year, they finished.
So they're
fantastic.
gaining
And for sure
momentum.
This year, they're gonna be again there, and they're gonna do some good results.
They're just
Have you
that
felt
team
connection-
too. Let's just be honest about Palace. They're that team. They can just turn up at any second. They've just always got these young, super athletic, super technical players that can just turn up and pop off at any given time. I don't know how they've been setting up this season. I haven't watched them too much, but usually I do watch Palace because they can be very, very dangerous at any time.
With the Chelsea fans at Stamford Bridge, or too early to say?
We really enjoyed the other day, Wolves away. With away fans, it's always special because you can hear them more. At home, we played just one game against City and then Servette. I think the game against City and also against Servette, they were fantastic, the fans. So hopefully we can give them
The fans.
a good day.
What do you
joy,
mean
and we can enjoy
fantastic?
it together.
Fans aren't overly patient. They want to see results straight away. Do you feel that pressure, or do you feel like you've been given time?
No. I feel pressure for myself in terms of we want to play good and we want to win games, but sometimes it's not so automatic. You need a little bit process. But I just focus, to be honest, in the day by day to try to improve players, improve the team, and then we see.
Brilliant. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, to be fair, that looked like it was an all Chelsea TV, an all Chelsea TV press conference. So naturally, it's going to basically be a fluff interview. Not much talking about Servette, second leg. It is what it is. I think Maresca handled it well. He seemed very very reserved and everything. But let's take a look at the potential lineup. And so, you know what I want to look at is I want to look at how we started against Wolves. And here we go. So this is how we started against Wolves. Because the way it's looked, although we didn't start the same against Wolves that we started against City. I think Neto, yeah, because Madueke didn't start against City. You know what? Let's pull that up too. I don't know. Daniel says, I don't know why he bothered playing such a B team if we need to gain some momentum and cohesion. I never got my... Yeah, that was a thought that I was actually talking... I forget who I was talking to about that. Maybe I was on stream, honestly. But it's something to think about. Like, it happens one or the other way, right? It's not like we were going to... exactly. Like, Daniel, it's not like we are going to be playing 70 matches this season or something. I don't really know how many matches we end up playing if we go far in the Conference League. That was something actually I wanted to look at, because we did come out with our schedule for the Conference League, and we play against, I think it's Ghent, who are really a mid-table Belgium team. We play them first, but all that aside, like, it's like, do you use the cup games to give minutes to the players in the squad that aren't getting minutes, or do you use it to help advance the gelling of the first team, of the regular starting 11? With Pochettino, you saw that he really did not change as much. It seemed like he was using the cup games in order to get his players in the true starting 11 really gelling. That's not the case with Maresca. I think he changed 9. Use it to build cohesion now, and we have such a new... Exactly. I think you're right, and I think that's something that he has to change. Yeah, well, City has... Okay, so Daniel says, use it to build cohesion now. We have such a new 11. True. Gabe C says, City has 2 A teams. Maybe he's trying to do what Pep has done. Yeah, because he was a manager at City. I think he was the reserve team manager at City, right? Respect, but yeah, you're right. Like, I think Daniel's right. And it's easy to say that in retrospect. He did make like 2 less changes, I believe, in the second leg at Servette. It was like 7 changes versus the 9 changes or something for the first leg. But yeah, and I think we still want to win the Conference League, right? If we still want to win the Conference League, and we need to get our players playing more, build that momentum, we need to, sorry, tough noogies to the players that aren't getting minutes. Sorry, Axel Disasi. Sorry, Renato Vega. Like, sorry, bro. Like, you're not going to get that. Sorry, Dewsbury Hall and Mudryk. Like, you should not be starting matches right now. Maybe soon, you'll get your times. You'll come on, you'll sub. You'll make a case for yourself subbing on in the important games. But for now, it looks like it's a mistake, and I hope that we see Maresca respond to that in the future in the future Conference League. Like I said, we play Genk next, if I'm not mistaken. And so, you know what? I'll even pull that up real quick, just to double check the fixtures. I mean, we do have the international break. Ghent, right? So yeah. So we're gonna play Ghent on October 30th, but we do have the EFL Cup on the 17th. Now, I wonder what Maresca is going to do in that game. Is he going to... Do you think that he should play the B team again against frickin' Barrow? I don't even know who Barrow is. Who is Barrow? Are they in like the League 2? Yeah, they're in League 2. So it's like, is League 2 English Professional League comparable to mid-table Swiss side? Maresca said this. These teams that are playing these games, this is like the game of their season. Like for Barrow, it's still 11 men against 11 men. Yes, much less good, but at the end of the day, a team like Barrow, They're coming into this Chelsea match away from home, playing at Stamford Bridge, and it is like the game of their season for them, right? This is the biggest game on the biggest stage for them. They're coming to play. They're going to play aggressive in the same way that Servette played aggressive against us. So it's like, I think, yeah, it would be nice to see Maresca change his attitude towards these games a little bit. And I know that he's managing minutes of some players, but I mean, obviously, I thought in Nkunku he was managing his minutes, but clearly he didn't give a crap. He played Nkunku all game against Servette in that losing game. So I don't know. It would be nice to see him change his approach. But as you can see over here against City, so this back line didn't change against Wolves, right? We had Sanchez, we had Cucurella, Colwill, Fofana, and Gusto. And then obviously Lavia's injured. He's not coming back until after the international break. Caicedo might be slightly injured, although he did also start, but he came off injured, as it says over here. He came off injured, but he also came subbed on in the Servette game. So it's tough to know where exactly Caicedo is right now, but I don't know if he'll play. But the back line will probably be the same unless Cucurella really is injured and we don't see him. Well, he played against Wolves even though he came off injured against City. So as FOTMob details here. So I still think we'll see Cucurella. So we'll probably see Cucurella. We're going to see this back line. We're obviously not going to see Lavia, Caicedo. It's going to be interesting the way we set up because we might not have Caicedo starting. We're definitely not going to have Lavia. And Enzo just had a stinker, but I guess we're going to have to play Enzo. And also Dewsbury Hall had a stinker. So it's going to be sad if we see just Dewsbury Hall and Enzo in the midfield. That would be a big freaking mistake. I don't think that's going to end well for us. And where are we going to pull? Like, who are we going to play? I think we played more of like a 4-3-3 personnel-wise against Servette in the second match because we had Neto start in the midfield. It's not listed here. Servette first leg, I think it was. Yeah, so FOTMob actually says 4-3-3 here. Yeah. Not that I know that, but just judging from the personnel, Neto maybe played a little further back behind Mudryk. Yeah, so I don't know what we're gonna do over here, but it would be really sad and scary to see Fernandez and Dewsbury Hall in the midfield alone, because that ain't gonna do it for me. We're really weak actually. In the midfield now, given that we don't have Lavia and Caicedo might be injured. We're probably going to see Caicedo. Probably Caicedo is going to start. That's my guess. So my guess is we're going to see this back line. We're going to see the same. Oops. We're going to see this back line that we saw against Wolves. We'll see Sanchez in goal because Jorgensen didn't exactly make a case for himself again in the second leg at Servette. I think we're going to see probably Caicedo, Fernandez at the 2 spot, in front of the back line. And then we'll probably see Noni, Palmer, hopefully not Mudryk, hopefully Neto or Felix maybe even if Neto's being managed and he doesn't want to start Neto. Maybe Felix, probably Felix and Jackson. Probably going to be Felix. Felix, Joao. Let's just call him Joao. That's my prediction. Okay. And we're going to see Jackson again because that's just how it is right now. Yeah. Just looking at last week's player stats against Wolves, both Enzo and Caicedo had 4.2 average. 4.2 average, what do you mean by that? You mean that they're rating? Rating by who? 4.2 average. Like a FOTMob 4.2? That would be pretty bad. No, out of 5. That seems pretty decent. I definitely wouldn't. That's not what they've got, like, oh, against Wolves. Yeah. Against Wolves, not against Servette. Yeah, I didn't think Enzo was terrible against Wolves. I thought Enzo played a decent game. I didn't think he's playing to his best ability, that's for sure. Caicedo didn't have a great game. Let's just be honest about that. Caicedo didn't look great. But I thought Caicedo looked okay against City next to Lavia, honestly. Although he has a lower rating here on here. Yeah, it's tough to say. I just, even in a game that we won 6-2, Mudryk was pulled off. Although all the action happened in the second half, if people remember correctly, in that game. So when Mudryk got pulled off, yeah, that's that. I'm gonna pull this out. I'm gonna shut that off. What did we say we were gonna do next? We are right. We watched the pre-match. All right, let's go to the news. Let's go to the Daily Mail. Perhaps before we do that, I'm going to remind you guys, because I'm doing this now. It's happening, guys. I'm making the change. I am selling this channel. Like, subscribe. I'm not selling the channel, but I'm selling the appeal of the channel. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to know when we go live. We have been going live. By we, I mean me, because it's just me. But I've been going live a lot lately on this channel, and I'd love to see you all over here. I'd love to see you engaging in the comments like Gabe C. and Daniel Mitzner, because it's so much more fun to do that. And yeah, you're not going to know if I'm going live unless you hit that bell button. Enzo was fine, according to Daniel, and I agree. I think he was okay, but he was not. He was terrible against Servette. I don't know, maybe he just doesn't. He's not that type of player that lifts the entire team. It's like when the team is doing well, maybe he'll pop off and just blast off. But I don't know. Maybe he needs a little more time to come into his own. It's not been great as of yet this season, but I believe in him. I do believe in Enzo. I do. I like him. I know some people are going to crap on him. He's been getting a lot of crap lately, and definitely against Servette, it was embarrassingly bad, but it wasn't as bad as Dewsbury Hall. And no, but Caicedo hasn't played to his potential at all yet for me. Yeah, Caicedo has been pretty bad. Been pretty bad this season. I mean, oddly enough, I think his best game was probably against City. And even though we lost that match, I'm with people who think we actually had a decent performance against City. I think City. It was probably more that City weren't at their best than Chelsea were good, but they were only marginally better than us. And if Erling Haaland didn't score that goal for them, it would have been right down the middle, and who knows, the game could have changed entirely and we could have won. Gabe C says same, not impressed by Caicedo, but I do hope they improve. Also, considering how much they cost. Yeah, Caicedo, I mean, just the money on that kid. Also, like, what's his contract? I'll just ask ChatGPT here. See if they get it right. What is Moises Caicedo's transfer fee, or what was his? Caicedo's transfer fee, and how long is his contract? Yeah, 115 million pounds. But again, on that 8-year contract, so they could amortize it and not have any penalties on the PSR there. But still, it's a stupid amount of money, 115 million pounds for the level that we're seeing out of Caicedo. Yeah. Okay, but right now we need him. At the end of the day, right now we need him. No Lavia. it's going to be trouble. I'm very nervous about Crystal Palace. I don't think you guys understand this. Like, this is scary. They just won a 4-0 against Norwich, and Norwich, they're not right. They're not a Premier League team anymore, but they have a good history, and I didn't watch the game, so I don't know. I just saw the result. But again, it's scary to go up against Crystal Palace in this moment. I don't... especially after such a terrible, even though it was our B team, a terrible performance against Servette. Although we won't really be too affected by it, given that we did qualify. Yeah, City were bad for their standards. Yeah, absolutely. They were not good. They were not good, City. It did not look like City. So it's hard to say great job, Chelsea. I mean, even though we lost, but as far as the performance goes. Let's go over to the Daily Mail and see what's going on over there. Bam. Okay. So they're reporting Raheem Sterling completes sensational loan switch to Arsenal as Chelsea outcast finally gets a move away from after being banished to the bomb squad by Enzo Maresca. Sky Sports had not, I guess, yeah, so they're reporting this as breaking news just now, an hour ago, from the Daily Mail. Sky Sports had updated us on that. Raheem Sterling, freaking Daily Mail. Raheem Sterling has completed a shock move to Arsenal to end his Chelsea exile on a dramatic transfer deadline day that also saw Jadon Sancho close in on a move from Stamford Bridge. We haven't confirmed that, but it does seem like it did go through. We're going to find out. The Gunners swooped to sign Sterling from their London rivals as they closed in on finally ending their attempts to sign a new attacker. There is no obligation to buy option in the deal finalized in the early hours of Saturday morning. Because it's Saturday morning. Yeah. In England. It's an unbelievable feeling. It's really excited. I'm buzzing, said Sterling. Okay. The hell is this? What, did they just Photoshop him into the thing? They've already got him in a kit? That's crazy. It's one where we kind of left it late, but it's one I was hoping for. Looking at everything, I'm just like, this is a perfect fit for me, and I'm super happy we got it over the line. Yeah, obviously he gets to stay in London. They were saying his family's in London. He wanted to be able to not have to move. What were they already doing, a photo shoot in the halls of frickin' the Emirates? I mean, for fuck's sake. But yeah, that was quick. Okay. Oh God, now the best is yet to come.
People like to talk, don't they?
People like to talk. People like to talk. You like to talk, bro. You're the talker.
So do I.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, you do, bro. They're acting like he's going to start.
Say this. You're about to see the best of me.
The kid's only 29 years old. We literally could see the best of him. It's scary when we sell somebody like Raheem to Arsenal, honestly. It's just seems like stupid, but it is over the line. Got him off the books. I don't know if these are... You could easily look at what's been going on and just from a negative perspective and be like, what the F is going on here at the club? What are we doing all around? So many weird decisions. Selling Conor Gallagher for Dewsbury Hall. Having Badiashile and Tosin Adebayo, whatever the hell his name is, and loaning out Chalobah. I mean, getting rid of or loaning out Petrovic when he's literally better than both of the current keepers. I mean, he just is. Okay, so it's like a lot of weird stuff going on here with the club, and look, we might at the end of all this be like, oh, genius, look at all this genius, like it all worked out perfectly. But I'm a little pessimistic about it. I like Sterling, Gabe C. I like Sterling, always been a fan. Really disappointed he was left out and now moved to Arsenal. I gotta agree because again, and I've been making this point, but we're starting Mudryk in cup games and league games too, let's not forget. And it's like, who is better in the immediate, Mudryk or Sterling? Sterling is like, I've said this for a while, he's like one of the... He's had cold moments, but he's kind of one of the best out-and-out natural wingers in the league. He really just is. Like, 1v1, Sterling is dangerous. And he's one of those players who, in general, he's not losing the ball very easily. He's very strong. He's very quick. And so, I don't know. And he's still young as hell. Like, a guy with his experience, having played under Pep Guardiola at Liverpool, I don't think I guess under maybe Brendan Rodgers over there, but like, okay, Daniel Stock is in, and he's talking crap. Yeah, selling him to Arsenal smacks of Salah or KDB from Daniel Mitzner. I gotta say, yeah, it could happen. I mean, he could literally pop off for Arsenal, and really put them over the line. I mean, yeah, Dan Stock was upset when it was upset. He was not upset when we sold Havertz to Arsenal. He was super hyped, but look what Havertz has done for them. Really, he's actually elevated them. Sterling, quote, I spoke with Edu, the sporting director at Arsenal, and I said, you could see the real togetherness from Mikel's time here, and you see the journey the boys are on. You can see the hunger, and I keep saying, again, the togetherness is something I'm looking to be a part of. Sterling has been told he has no future at Chelsea under Enzo Maresca, and the club has been working to find him a new home. Yes, in a statement, Chelsea said Chelsea winger Raheem Sterling has completed a season-long loan move to Arsenal, so yeah, that's confirmed. Obviously, they confirmed. They're all taking these photo shoots and whatnot. Raheem joined the Blues from Manchester City in summer of 2022 and has scored 19 goals across 81 appearances. Yeah, that's not a fantastic return, but it's not a terrible return for a winger, really, especially across seasons where the team wasn't playing well, okay? And when the team isn't playing well, yeah, it's hard for players to come out and shine individually. He will now spend the remainder of the campaign at the Emirates. Good luck, Raheem. Basically, F you to Raheem. He's only 29 years old, like literally coming on his like prime years. But yeah, his wages were high. Sterling's £325,000 per week wages was also viewed as the key stumbling block towards his departure during the window, but the two clubs have reached an agreement on how they will split his salary for the duration of the loan. Oh, right, because it's a loan. So they're not even... We're subsidizing Arsenal's acquisition of Raheem Sterling. Just let that sink in. We are subsidizing Arsenal's acquisition of Raheem Sterling. What that could mean actually probably is, though, that they still can't play him against us. So, yeah, that probably means they can't play him against us, but I guess that depends on the terms of the loan. I think not all loan terms end up that way. I'm not sure about that, but I believe in general he shouldn't be allowed to play against us in the two fixtures that we are to play against them this season, which are not too far away. The first one. Let's see. Meanwhile, Sancho will replace Sterling. Okay, so they're basically reporting that Sancho's over the line. I haven't seen that confirmation at Sky Sports so far. We did that on here. Their live ticker is not showing that, but it looks like it did go over the line. Meanwhile, Sancho and Chelsea haven't announced in the same way that, or have they? Have they? Has Chelsea announced? Let's find out. Yeah, but like unlike Raheem to Arsenal, like Raheem to Arsenal, like they announced on the Arsenal Twitters and stuff. Yeah, it's not announced on here. Oh, okay. So they didn't announce this either. But look at this. Broja has joined Everton on a season-long loan, because the last I read it right here on the stream. Ipswich Town had broken down. There was something with Broja's medical, so he was supposed to go to Ipswich, and that fell through. So it looks like now he's going to Everton. Okay, that's good on a loan. Look, I'm happy for that. I want to see him do well, and maybe he'll come back and deliver for Chelsea at some point. Petrovic, we see that. He did go to Strasbourg. We knew that. But nothing here confirming Jadon Sancho's acquisition. Like, again, as opposed to Raheem, where they have announced that on Arsenal's Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. Check that out real quick. But we saw those images. So, yeah, it's on there. They're on there. Yeah. Oh, enough, man. Broja, he's an academy boy. You have no respect for academy boys, do you, Daniel Stock? I mean, it's sad. It's sad, isn't it? It just said, isn't it? Yeah, that was my Chris Rock impression. Somebody out there will recognize. Okay, so nothing really confirming Jadon Sancho. You know, bro, the troll is on. The troll is on. Let's see if anything else reported here. Okay, because we're not reading the Chelsea news right now, but I'll stick to the world news here. World football news. Al Ali confirmed £40 million. We did know that. Ivan Toney as Brentford star leaves Premier League for Saudi Arabia and shock deadline day deal. Sucks for Brentford, really. Chelsea fail in pursuit, so it doesn't look like we're going to see any. We're going to wake up to any great news about Osimhen having gone through. Chelsea fail in pursuit of signing Napoli striker Victor Osimhen, despite the Blues making a late offer to sign him. Yeah, didn't pan out. Yeah, Saudi side. Al Ali looked set to sign Osimhen, but they instead turned their attention to Ivan Toney. It really sucks for Napoli, eh? Let the trolling begin. It hasn't stopped, has it? So now Napoli still have Osimhen on the books. Maybe Osimhen just effed up, you know? Maybe he effed up. It is understood that Osimhen's contract is due to expire in 2026 at the Serie A. Was looking to net a weekly salary of around £500,000 a week. See, that's what I was talking about, an eye-watering figure, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. So it doesn't look... Wait, did that say that? I'm still yet to see real confirmation that Jadon Sancho has gone through. There's just all this stuff. It just said, isn't it? How y'all doing tonight? Okay, it's I'm not on tonight with the Chris Rock. I don't think it's not. I don't know. Maybe the throat it's just not allowing, but yeah. Is that a prediction, Daniel Mitzner? Broja scoring 16 for Everton? I could see it, man. I could see it. And then Daniel Stock have to eat shiz. Less than 4 goals. Bull. Not happening. No. He's going to score at least 4 goals. Definitely. To be fair, Everton's not doing well right now. I think they lost both their opening games, didn't they? Let's look them up. But now they have him and Calvert-Lewin. There was talk about Chelsea picking up Calvert-Lewin. Well, yeah, so they lost their first 2 games, but they did play Brighton and Tottenham. And both Brighton and Tottenham are tough. Both of them are going to be a stiff test. But they did win their last match against Doncaster Rovers. Are they even starting Calvert-Lewin? Yeah. How old is Calvert-Lewin now? 27. I don't know. That could be tough. There's a chance that Broja won't be starting striker for Everton. Like, he might have to play second fiddle to Calvert-Lewin, and if that's the case, I mean, he might not score those 16 goals. But 16 across all competitions? Probably. Yeah. He could do that. He could totally do that. And then I can't wait to see that so Dan Stock can eat it. That'll be great. And then he'll just be like, well, he's good now. Okay, bro. Yeah, he's good now. Well, you have to look at the quality of the player, okay? It's not just about how they're doing right now. It's like, how good are they? What is their potential? But Dan Stock doesn't care about that. Right? That is a big surprise. Going to Everton in the end. I mean, they're a bigger club than Ipswich, to be fair, although they're in trouble. But personally, vendetta fueling your bad takes now. Unbelievable. No, it's not a personal vendetta. What bad takes, man. You just look, you've had so many bad takes. You've had so many bad takes, bro. I mean, just last year, you were crapping all over Cucurella. You were singing Timo Werner's praises. And now it's all swept under the rug. All of his bad takes just get swept under the darn rug. Okay, well, guess what? Pepperidge Farm remembers, Daniel Stock. Pepperidge Farm remembers. And you know who else remembers? This guy. This guy. Reading between the headlines remembers. Okay, buddy? Yeah, your takes are spot on. If that spot is like not on. Anyway, yeah. Oh, by the way, reminder to people. If you're coming in now, you're in the channel, you haven't subscribed to it, why not? Why not? Like, subscribe, hit the bell to know when we go live. Why not do it? Do it. Come back. Connect. Engage. Do it. Let's go. Grow this channel because, you know, in a year's time, we'll be flying high. And if you're not around, then, you know, maybe you'll get swept under the rug like Daniel Stock's bad takes. You know, you don't want to be that guy. Subscribe early. Get in. Get it going. Become a regular engager and fight the troll. Fight the troll that is Daniel Stock. Fight him. Fight him for me. Back me up. After Bro has 16 wins the league, he's going to score on your mom. Uh-oh. Daniel on Daniel crime here. Daniel on Daniel crime. We've got a couple Daniels. There can only be one Daniel in this quadrant. So, the fight of the Daniels is on. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to the news. Why don't we ask ChatGPT? Let's see. Will Armando Broja score a minimum of 4 goals for Everton this season? As of now, no, okay, they're not updated. If a move happens, predicting the exact number of goals he might score would depend on various factors such as playing time, form, fitness, and how well he fits into Everton's system. However, given his potential and ability, if he were to join Everton and get regular playing time, scoring a minimum of 4 goals in a season is certainly within his capability. Daniel Stock. Explain to Daniel Stock why he's wrong about Armando Broja scoring or not scoring much for Everton. Certainly. Hey, Daniel, I get where you're coming from, but I think you're underestimating Armando Broja's potential impact on Everton. Proven talent. Broja showed last season at Southampton that he can be a real threat in the Premier League. He scored 6 goals in 32 appearances. He already scored 6 goals in 32 appearances for a side that wasn't exactly overflowing with creativity, Daniel. At Everton, especially with a strong support system, he could have even more opportunities to find the back of the net. Style of play. Broja's playing style is suited to a team like Everton, who often play a more direct game. That's true, right? He's strong, quick, and excellent at holding up the ball, which makes him perfect for leading the line in a team that might look to hit on the counter or play through a central striker. Sounds right to me. Motivation and development. A move to Everton would likely see him get more consistent playing time compared to Chelsea. As a young striker hungry to prove himself, he'll be motivated to make the most of his chances, and he's going to do better than he did last season, in which he scored 6 for Southampton, and it was a team that, did they get relegated? I think they got relegated. No, they didn't get relegated. Okay, but they weren't doing exactly great. Ask ChatGPT about Broja's chances. That should help clarify why your confidence in Broja isn't misplaced. And I think ChatGPT is 100% correct about this. What do you say, Daniel Stock? You see, that's what we call just poor framing, Daniel, because you can't take one little comment about the technical ability of a player and just apply it to a player as a whole. There's more than technical ability to a player, Daniel Stock. I wish you understood that. I wish you understood that there is more to than just a technical ability, the ability to dribble, the ability to strike the ball in a myriad of ways to a player. There's vision, there's experience, there's decision making. All of these things go into making a fantastic player. So if you would just understand that, then maybe you would understand comments like I had made previously. Now, I think we've gone on long enough with this. This show is already at its limit, an hour and 20 minutes. I usually try to make this around an hour, but I think it was good. I think we had a great day today. We had some excellent, engaging commentary today from the reading between the headlines. Let's say we understood your comment. We simply disagreed. Speak for yourself, Daniel. Okay, Daniel Stock. I gotta specifically say Daniel Stock because, yeah, there's a couple Daniels in here. But yeah. Anyway, Cesc Fabregas, absolute legend. Some people even say that I look like the guy. So, like I've said before, I have a special place in my heart for him. Definitely on balance, a much more accomplished and legendary player than Enzo Maresca. But Enzo Maresca has got a really bright future. I'm not Maresca. Enzo Fernandez has got a really bright future, and hopefully he can even surpass Fabregas for Chelsea specifically and do some really great things for us. He definitely has the technical ability. He definitely is sharp. He's good defensively. I mean, he has been good defensively. He hasn't been great lately, but hopefully he will turn it around and really deliver for Chelsea because I know he can, and I believe that he can. But well, we could extend and check out the. I wonder if there's anything on Instagram from the boys. Looks like. Why not? Why not? All right, fine. This is Neto. I guess he got. Oh. Was Neto always on the Portuguese national team? Because it looks like he got picked up 15 hours ago. Young Chalobah. When the time is right, the Lord will make it happen. That's what he says. Get Terry just flaunting. Petrovic. All right. Yeah. Great. Renato Vega also picked. Wow. Are you serious? Did he really get picked? I don't think he did. I don't see his name here. Yeah, I don't think he got picked. He's just posting. He's just posting the team, isn't he? Oh, no, here he is. Renato Vega. Wow. Are you serious? Renato Vega just got... He's on the Portuguese national team. Is this not the... Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Mitzner. Like, they're both midfielders, but they're very different types of midfielders. Like I say, I think Fernandez is more technical on the ball, and he's like a little bit more of a dribbler than Fabregas, and he's just a little. He's got some extra technical ability that I didn't see in Fabregas, but it's a totally different thing. And Fabregas has obviously had a career of legendary status, and it's really hard to compare them as players more broadly. We'll see in about 5, 6, 7 years if Maresca can do it. I'm sorry, not Maresca. Fernandez can do it. Stop trying to compare the two shows. He don't know his... Daniel on Daniel crime. Daniel on Daniel crime. But he's just trolling. He's trolling. That's just his... that's what he's doing, so... Caicedo. I don't know who that is, but he's shouting out one of his boys. Joe Cole. If you don't know Joe Cole, go check out his highlights, man. You're missing out. And Kunku, what is that? Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? I don't know if any of you guys watched the Servette match, but like in the middle of the match, or like the middle of maybe the second half, or towards the end of the second half, there was like a crazy fireworks event that transpired in the Servette like stands, like maybe the home stands. It was crazy. It was loud. It was insane, actually. I've never seen anything like it, like in the freaking stands like that. And they literally, the match stopped. Like the match stopped. Chelsea were going for a corner, as you could see over here, and Cole Palmer just like sat on the ball and waited for it to be over. It was that disruptive. And Kunku's posting it. Great, yeah, you got the penalty. I mean, great, but yeah, and Kunku's probably the only player of that match that can really be psyched about that match. Sanchez, was he really picked? Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's just for the Nations League. But hey, when you get picked for the Spanish national team, especially what they've done recently, that's something to be proud of. Felix, obviously, on the national team, posting that. Juan Mata Garcia, David De Gea, class is permanent. I don't know what he did to deserve that shout out, but respect. Jorgensen posting after the match. I mean, not much to be proud of for him, let's be real. Oh, definitely. And Kunku needs to start on Sunday. If his minutes aren't being managed, he needs to start. He absolutely needs to start. How do I react to that? Hearts. It's all right. He's just creating drama, Daniel Stock, you know. He wants he's all about that drama. He wants to enhance the channel. And I appreciate that. I mean, I'm just making excuses for him. It's really not true. He just loves trolling me, but that's fine. Tammy. Again, I'm going to say this. Tammy should be at Chelsea. I mean, right now, I would take him. Right? Too bad. Nothing out of Chelsea. Nothing about Jadon Sancho. All right. Anyway, all right. So I do think that is about... Well, Daniel Mister says, do you play Nkunku as the main striker? And right now, honestly, because we have both Felix and Neto, I would start him. I would start him as the main striker. I really would. And I would have Felix, Neto. I mean, the way that we play is that we literally have like 5 players in the forward line. So at least that's the way that Maresca explained it. When we have the ball, we basically have like 5 players up top attacking the final third, which is great, like spread out across that final third. So if we could have Nkunku up top and then Neto, Felix, Cole Palmer, like maybe a little bit deeper from the 10 spot. I don't know. I don't know how it ends up panning out there. But there is a world where we could play Neto, Felix, Cole Palmer, and Nkunku up top and Madueke on the right. So yeah. And I would do that. Sorry if that pisses Nicholas Jackson off, but it's not going to happen. He's going to start Nicholas Jackson, and probably either Felix or Neto are going to be on the bench. And I don't know exactly what's going to happen. The way the way that Maresca is setting it up, we need a main striker, which in theory is Jackson. It hasn't worked. Nope. hasn't worked. But what else do you do if Jackson is there? Like, what else do you do? It's tough to say, but it's not working out. He doesn't even need to play false 9. Let him. He could play just 9. He could play 9. But yeah. All right. So I think we're gonna call. I've been saying this for about 10-15 minutes, but I think it's about time. I think it's about time we shut it down. Shut it down. Yeah. How do I? No, okay. But the last thing I will say before we shut it down is, of course, like, subscribe. Please do it. Please subscribe. Please like the stream. There's not too many likes on there now, are there? All of you guys could be liking the stream. But that's okay. We will get you. We will get you. We'll bring you in. You'll always come in. You'll always get pulled right into the appeal of the channel and the stream. But it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, ladies and gents. I'll keep selling the channel, keep selling it, and you guys will keep coming. I know it. I just feel it in my down belows. That said, thank you again for coming by. This was Reading Between the Headlines, Peruse the News. And I wish that you will all come back. And until then, please live football and prosper. Love y'all. Peace.
Soccer? But it's really called football. Soccer? The creators called it football. Soccer? You know, you play it with your feet. Reading between the headlines. Soccer?